Hello. How are you doing, guys? I'm sorry that today I'm a bit late. In that case, so it will be much better to do a recap of what we learned yesterday, what we and we did yesterday. Yesterday we were reading a book named SQL for data analysis. It is a very good book that is rated very high in this industry. And in this book, that book you can get it through somewhere else, meaning that most of the stores you can get from, right? With that being said, I think it would be much better to go ahead and to tell you more about my book. So I also created my book. It's about Excel, and you will master Excel once you finish that book. That book is very neat and well written. It has no errors, no duplicates, no nothing. So just straight to the point. It has instructions. So you can get that book through in the description below. There's a link in the description below where you can get it. It's 90% off for 2 weeks. It will be 90% off. After that, it will go back to its original price. So so we are going to discuss the SQL for data analysis, the book we talked about yesterday. That book is a fantastic book. So when we open our, so let's open this. We talked about a few things yesterday. So first thing was what is a data analysis? Data analysis. Data analysis. Okay, data analysis is someone who analyzes data. Okay, if you're someone who analyzes data, then you're a data analyst. And we have a quite different analysis. Okay, we have those who analyze finance, so we call them finance analysts, and those people who are called who research, who analyzes researchers, we call them research analysts. And those who analyze business, we call them business analysts. And those who take care of products, we call them product analysts. So all of them are in the category of data analysts. Okay. So that analysis is a very good course and very easy to learn. The resources are free everywhere. You don't need to spend time to learn data analysis or to master data analysis. So we already said that data analysis is someone is a career. If you want to become a data analyst, then you must be good at analyzing data. And let's talk about the stages now for a data analysis. So we talked about the stages of data analysis in the book analysis. So in the book, we talked about the stages of data analysis. First, we gather the resources, that is the first stage. Then the second stage is we take the resources to the warehouse where we have the data analysts. Okay. Then we gathered the information and we took them to the warehouse. Then we analyze the data. No, we clean the data first. Cleaning is first. So we clean and remove the errors. Maybe there's some blanks or the duplicates. We remove them, all those. Uh, we clean them, right? Basically, we clean them. After cleaning, we analyze and come up with a dashboard at the end. Once we are done with that, we are going to advise now the stakeholders uh, what they should take, the step they should take, right? So you have to advise the stakeholders, right? So what to avoid and the risks of taking that steps. So you need to analyze. We sit down with the stakeholders and analyze what happened and what's going to happen, right? That is the stages First, we said we gather the informations, and how do we gather the informations? We collect data from the people. We go house by house if it's the case. So, like census, the way we did, if your country has census, you understand more about this. So you go to house by house and count how many children they have, right? Something like that. So you can also gather information from the employees in a certain company. So you will be surprised. Maybe let's say there's a problem of employees leaving the company after every 3 months, and you'll be like, why are they leaving? So then you sit down with the employees and talk to them why they're leaving. That's how we collect data. You go to the employees and talk to their problem. So you ask them why are you guys leaving after every 3 months? It will be much better even to go and look for that person that left after 3 months and ask him about those to gather those information. Obviously, you give him a little money, but he will give you the correct answer for that. Okay. So once you collect that data, then you take it to the warehouse where you sit down with the other data analyst. So you have a group of people who also analyze data with you. So you sit them and talk about how to analyze and the step. All right. Once you've done that, you talk about that you have collected and gathered the information. So you clean the information, then you analyze them, then you create a visualization that is dashboards. Then you advise, lastly, you advise the stakeholders. That is the step we have just said. Now that is basically what data analysis is, and we talked about. So in that book, we also talked about the importance of SQL. Why is SQL important? Okay, SQL important is why SQL is important. So you'll be surprised that the SQL is one of the most used languages in data analysis because of some few reasons. So SQL was invented in 1960s theoretically, and it just advanced as time went by. All right. Now, SQL is very important because we use that language to analyze data. We use that language to analyze data. That is the first reason. And why do we use this language? Is that it is because SQL is a language that is used to talk to the database. So as time went by, we have evolved and started storing our data in databases and not just a normal file. So we store our information in a database, in what we call a database. So a database is a collection of related informations, right? That is what we mean by a database. A database is a collection of related information. Let me just explain a little bit what a database is, because most of you might not understand what a database is, or you just heard that database, or most of you know what database is, but you never went deep down and discussed how a database looks like, right? So what is a database? That is a good question to be asked. What is a database? All right? What is a database? So let me. Okay, what is a database, by the way? Um, okay, just a minute. I'm replying to someone here. Minute. So what is a database? Database. I finished explaining it again. So what is a database? So a collection of related information. A database is a collection of related information. So right, information. So for example, we have a database named phone phone book, phone book. So all the related information in the phone book. This consists of phone numbers, right? So we might have 10 phone numbers written in a book. So and that book is named a phone book. And so that phone book becomes a database. So a database is a collection of related information. So that is where we store our informations, our secret informations, our big files. That is where now we store our information. So the language that we use to talk to the database so is called SQL. For instance, if we want a phone number, maybe we have 20 to 30 phone numbers that are stored in the phone book, and we are looking for one phone number. Maybe that is your brother's phone number. It is found in the phone book, and you want to get it. So you use SQL to get that phone number, and that is why SQL is very, very important. We say that SQL is an acronym, so it stands for Structured Query Language, right? It has to be structured. So that is it. Now we talked about what SQL is and how important it is. So we can go deep down about SQL. So SQL is a hybrid language. Okay, SQL is a hybrid language. Hybrid language. So is that how we write it? All right, is a hybrid language. So SQL contains multiple languages that are combined to form this language named SQL. So there are four languages that we have. We have the first one is DTL. DTL. This is a data definition language. So is a type of a language that is found in SQL. So data definition languages. These include such as defining and create. So you will come across when you're writing SQL queries. So create these are what we call such as creating a table, creating a schema. Those are informations that we have in DDL. The second one is DCL. So DCL, so data control languages. So you know that we must have password. So if we're storing a secret information, have we must have a password to it. So DCL is the one that will help us to use that password, right, for security purposes. So that is the second language that is found in the SQL data control language. Okay, and we also have we said DCL, DML. So we have DML now. This is data manipulation languages, the type of SQL languages that we use to manipulate languages. So the, um, this includes such as this includes uh, update, update, uh, insert, alter. So those are the languages we use to manipulate the data, right? It's called DML. So far we said how many languages? We said DML, CDL, um, the last one is data query languages. Okay, data query languages. The last one is that DQL, data query languages. So this one is just normal query such as select, right? So those are the four languages that are combined to form SQL. So with that being said, we also talked about few things about what did we say? So we talked about data analysis, talked about the importance of SQL, and some of the queries that we talked about include the select statement. So let's go ahead and talk about the queries. All right, queries, queries. So queries. Okay, the first one is select. All right, This one is the one that will come across. So we'll be using select query most of the time. Select is used to retrieve data. It is used to pick data from the databases. Okay, so it's just the word from select, just a normal English word. Select. We did an example yesterday where we did this select select name. So name from employee. So then you're going to end with semicolon. So that is an example of a basic syntax. So select name from employee. So it is going to pick name from employee where a table named employee. So we say that in relational database management system, we store informations in tables. So for you to get the names, so you have to first understand which table is it. So we have databases. Inside the databases, we store informations in tables. We might have 20 tables, 10 tables. So if your name is found in a specific table, you just go ahead and write that table. And we said that in data analysis, we are going to use relational database management system where we store informations in tables, right? That is one of the cases. So employees. So we talked about also this from usually gives you it most of the time it comes after select. So once you use select, know that 98% of the time you are going to use from. So when you use select, then it is followed by from. So from usually takes you to the table name. So from, then after from you're going to type the table name. All right. So if your table name is called employee, then that is it. All right, that is it. So employee. And if you guys haven't understood this, let me just go and discuss more about relational database management system. So we have what we call database management system. We talked about database, and it is much better to go ahead first before I introduce you to the query. Database management system. All right, database management system is used to manage data. Database system, it is used to manage data. All right. So think of it like someone that helps you manage the data. So for example, we said that we store information. Maybe phone book is an example that is used for a database, right? Phone book contains phone numbers. So the system that is going to pick for you the number that you're looking for is called this system, database management system. All right, it is going to pick the number. All right, so we are going to we're going to use SQL, talk to this database management system, then it goes ahead and picks the number from the database. All right, that is basically what a database management system is. So we have types of database management system. The first one, we have relational database management system. Relational database management system, so DBMS. Let me just write the short form, right? We have no SQL, right? So we have many of them, and we is not important. Not use the rest. We have in memory DB. It's not important if you want to become a data analysis. So cloud DBMS. So DB, DBMS. So these three here is not important. So what we're going to use for data analysis is this. So we say that relational database management system informations are stored structurally, right? Structured in a table, like using column and uh, and rows. Okay, that is what we are going to use. All right, so we're going to store our informations in rows and columns. Right? So therefore in SQL we are going to use this. Right, that is one of the cases. um, and I was also likely to talk about the data type. Okay, SQL data type. We talked about this yesterday, so let me just do a few recap of what we have learned. What is a data type? Okay, okay. What are data types? What are data types? Uh, what are data types? In SQL, data types define in SQL. In SQL, data types define what type of data goes to the column. Goes to, okay. So in SQL, data types define what type of data goes to the column. So data types as control data in databases. They make sure the right type of data goes to the right goes into the right column. Okay. So the main data types we have here is, let me just mention the main data types we have. So the first one we have is numeric data type. So numeric data type. In numeric data type, uh, and this involves numbers. Okay, under the numeric data types we have such as integers, integer. So if you want to search, if you want to put a whole number such as age, you use integer. So this one is for whole number. So stereo, we have stereo. This one is auto increment. So auto incrementing. All right. Okay, so that is stereo. So numeric. Then we have decimal. So if you want to put decimals, okay, the word decimals. So if you want to put want to make use of, if you want to make use of decimal point, to use decimal, right? All these follow under these numeric data types. So it involves numbers. As you can see there, integer is a number, whole number. We have serial, which is auto increments. So it just writes 1 2 3 automatically. If we have name Ali Hassan 3, so it gives Ali number 1, Hassan number 2. Right. So decimal, we also have what we call decimal if you want to make use of decimal points. Right, that is it. So the second one we have is second data type we have is string data type. The string data types. We under string data type we have char and varchar. Alright, so string is the opposite of numeric data type. It is not numbers. This is now about characters now, the letters we have here. So if you want to insert information such as names, so we are going to use string, right? So under string we have characters and varchar. So char means for specific fixed number of characters. So if you put 10, let's say put 10 here, 19. The 19 you put Kaya, so your name does not exceed 19. Specifically, the name that should be put in that column should be 19, while Vaka is completely different from Ka. So if you put 19 also, let's say you put 19 in Vaka, so it means that your name can exceed 2 or can even reduce by 3 letters, right? As long as it is close to 19, then Vaka allows you to make use of that, right? So, and most of the data analysts prefer Vaka over Ka because of that, because of the freedom you are given, right? So the third data type we have here, so let me just put here. So the third one is date and time. Okay, we have date and time. So dates. So under date and time, we have dates. This one gives you the date. So uh, in statistics and analysis, so there's a way we write dates. So we first start by the year, let's say 2025. Then we start with the year, then hyphen, then it goes to the month. So let's say 6. Then lastly, it gives you the day, all right, 25, all right. It gives you the year, then the month, then the day. That is how we write in data analysis, all right. So we also have time. This one now gives you the time, right? Just the time, what time it is, right? If it is 14:30, if it is 2:30, um, 2:30, let's say. So it's going to write something like this, all right? So that is the time, and we have timestamp. So timestamp, this one now gives you the date and the time. So it will write something like this: 2025 06 25. That is the date. Then it leaves some spaces. Then it writes the time, right? It writes the time, right? Something like that. Then so that is the timestamp. So these things are used for maybe sheets. So if the employees, so they should be sheets, right? Also, if you want to look at the year of experience, if someone has been in the company for more than 5 years, 6 years, then you're going to use date and time to find out if he has been if he has been around there, right? My mic was off, so sorry for that. Okay, so that is what we are thinking about, right? We have date and time, we have strings, and we have uh, numeric data type. Lastly is Boolean data type. So Boolean data types. So that is the last one, Boolean data type. Okay, Boolean data type. This one gives you if the answer is true or no. So it checks the value, checks if the value is true, is true or false. Okay, or false. So, and where do we use this search information? So we use this information uh, in supermarkets where we have products. Okay, so if you want to check if a certain product is in the inventory, so you use Boolean data type to check out if it is still around or is out of the store. So that is the four data types we have. Data types are four, and those are the what we have here. Now after that, I would love to talk about constraints. Okay, let's talk about constraints. So what is constraints? I would love to talk about constraints. Constraints are usually these are something that explains more about data types, right? So that is basically that's how I can explain it. So they explain more about the data type. So we say that data types usually uh, make sure that the right kind of data goes to the right the columns. So and constraints also to take care of the data types, right? So we have primary key, that is the first one. We have primary key. This is a unique identifier. Unique identifier. So it's a unique identifier. This is a unique identifier. The unique identifier. So we have here primary key, unique identifier. The second one is not null. We have not null. The field must have a value. Okay. The field must have a value. Mm, mm, Unique. All values in the column must have first unique. All the values. All the values in the column must be unique. Okay. So all the values in the column must be unique. So it's just same as the primary key. So primary key usually identifies the, the unique identifier, right, for each record. So we have the default values also, default value. Okay, and lastly we have foreign key. Okay, this is a unique identifier. It is a primary key of another table. All right. If you want to link two tables, you are going to use foreign key. So I think with that being said, let me just show you now basic uh, DDL language. So DDL we said is a type of is one of the four languages found in SQL. So such as create, we talked about create. So if you want to create a table, how do we create a table? So what do we write to create a table? So this is the basic syntax of creating so let's talk about the basic syntax for creating a table, right? And the first one is now you say create a table, create table, then you are going to give the table name. So let's go name, then you open a bracket, then you move down. So now this, yeah, you write the column name. So column so let me just say column one name. Okay, then you're going to write the data type after that. After the column name, you're going to write the data type, then constraint, right? Constraint that goes to the first column. Then after you finish that, you put comma, then you put column two underscore name. Then you give the data type you want, data type. Then after that, constraints, constraints. That is it. Basically, that's how we do it. Then you put comma again. You move to column three. Then you give it then data type, then constraints. Okay, so constraints. So let's say this is the last one now. So you don't put comma. So the last one, the last column you don't put comma, right? You just move to the next line and close the bracket. Then you end with semicolon. So that is the basic syntax for creating a table. That is how it looks like. So there should be a table name. There should be what. So let me just show you practically how this is, right? Right. So let me just open my dbeaver. Trying to open my dbeaver. Open my dbeaver. Okay, so I have opened my dbeaver. So I wanted to show you how the basic syntax for creating table looks like. Mm, don't know if you guys can see what I'm. Okay, so I just wanted to show you. Okay, okay. So this is how we create a table. There's somewhere I have created my table. Okay, as you can see there. So you say create table. So the name of the table is orders. So then you open bracket. Then you put the first column, that is the order ID. After that, you put the data type, that is the integer, which is under numeric. Then you put constraints, and we say that each table must have uh, a primary key, right? So that is our primary key here. Then customer ID. So this is the second column here. We put data type, but we didn't put constraints. So constraints are not must. So this option. If you want to put constraints, you can go ahead and put them. So you have product marker. So product. So this is a string. So we put back variable characters. So it's about 100 characters or letters. So then you put you can end with the semicolon there. We also have here foreign key, and that is how we write a foreign key, right? So once you finish that, you end with your semicolon. You close bracket and end with the semicolon. That is how we create a table. You can also look at this. This is also another way of another example here. So create table customer. The name of the table is customer. Then we open bracket. Then started the first column which is customer ID. Then serial. We put primary key here. Then the second column we put varchar then 100. Then we closed our bracket. Okay. So if I run this, select all from customer. Basically, that is how it looks like. You can see there the customer ID. It is in the first column, and the name here we have it as the second column. With that being said, I think that is at the end of the class today. So we were just doing a recap of the book that we were doing yesterday. So make sure you hit the like button and we are on 417, so that means a lot, to be honest. Okay. I wanted to show you something here. There's a small thing that I wanted to show you before I end the stream. Okay. Okay, before I end the stream, there's this thing that I wanted to show you guys. Where is it? Just give me a minute. Yep, I have already found here. Let me open this thing. Um, there's this thing that I wanted to show you, all of you. So this book here. So is it? Yep, this one here. Let's just open it. Okay. Okay, I wanted to show you that there's this book that I have created. So when you click the link in the description below, it will take you to this page. So see here, getting hired with Excel, learn the skill that recruiters want. It will show you a lot of stuff. Okay. So if you're struggling with interviews, this book is for you, or you're trying to learn your first job. So maybe you want to become a data analyst, and maybe you have small knowledge about data analysis, and you're not getting a job. All right, this book is for you. Get ahead with Excel is here to help. Okay, it is here to help designed for absolute beginners or growing professionals. So this practical guide breaks down the key metrics, methods, and real-world strategies used by successful data analysts every day. Right. So this book here, why trust this book? So this book I created it after seeing how many beginners waste time on using tutorials. I've simplified the process to you. And, so that is why you should trust this book. Yeah. And it's around $4, $9. So what you learn from this book is what recruiters are looking for when they want to hire you, and how to transform raw data into clear insights. The most important metrics used in real world companies, right? What do data analysts do basically their day to day? So you'll be surprised that not every day we do analysis, right? So most of the time we usually do interviews, we do meeting. Those are the things we do most of the time in our day to day life. So that is, you learn all those stuff, and you have to push yourself. So when you get this book, it has some questions, and you have to basically do all those questions in that book. So when you get the book, just go and do all the exercises. Please don't even leave a blank. It will teach you something, a concept, then it will give you a question. All right. Please go and do those questions. Don't leave them blank. So it won't help you. Means that you have just spent your money and it didn't help you. So it has questions everywhere. It will give you a small, it will teach you a small concept, explain to you the way it should be done. Then after that small concept, it will give you questions, right? So you have to answer those questions properly. If you don't answer those questions properly, um, or if you are stuck somewhere, if you know the question, you're stuck. Let's end our stream here.